Hello, my name is Yosam Semgoma. I'm a pine tree grower in Uganda, based in Mitiana district. I've been growing pine trees for a period of around 15 to 16 years. I grow mostly pine, yeah, and have some little eucalyptus, very few eucalyptus, but my interest is majorly in pine. I've been growing pine for approximately 15 to 16 years. Yeah, I'm standing in a demonstration plot which has a 15-year-old pine plantation. Yeah, people have asked me, have been calling me to produce some videos and some help on how to plant pine, how to maintain it, how to sell it, the expected value of their plantations and things like that. So I'm going to prepare 3 videos to try and explain a few things. Yeah. Uh, Also, this should be noted that I'm talking of a very ideal situations. Yes, everyone has different problems. Everyone has different situations. I'll try and explain a few situations. Yeah. For this first video, we're going to talk about planting pine. Planting. Yes. Now, when you're planting a pine, I always advise people to be sure of the source of their seedlings. Yes, I always advertise National Forest. I don't work at National Forest, but I phone National Forest Authority, which is a government institution, to be a good source of seedlings. Yeah, when you go and buy seedlings on the roadside, you are very likely to run into problems and issues. Yeah, I always advise people to buy from National Forest. Yeah, they have a fixed address. They have been in this for a long time. You understand? So because when you are planting these things, pine is going to take a long time to grow, and you don't want to have planted the wrong tree, should I say? Because there are several varieties of pine out there in the market. So you want to have planted the right variety. And if you go to places like National Forest, they would advise you on the type of uh, tree, because there are different varieties. They will advise you on the type of tree you need to plant for your particular area. Every particular area, especially in Uganda, has a variety which is well suited for that area. You understand? Because there are very many varieties even on the market. And National Forest, if you go to National Forest, they will advise you on the best variety suited for your area. Now, in these videos, I'm going to be talking of very ideal situations. So don't quote me on so many things. I'm going to be talking of very ideal situations. You understand? Yeah. When you're planting pine, there people ask me things like clearing costs. How much will it cost me to clear, to plant really, to plant pine? When you're going to plant, of course, like I said, you need to have land. Yeah, you need to have land. For business, for those who are running a real business, yeah, calculations have been made, and they found that to have a real business thing, you need to start with 65 acres and above. But everyone has a different uh, uh, whatever they want to do. Everyone has different projections and things they want to do. But you can plant 1 acre of pine, depending on what your plans are. People plant pine for all types of reasons. But like I said, I'm going to talk of very ideal situations, because we can't go into all types of descriptions. Yes, people plant pine to produce timber. People plant pine to produce pulp. People plant pine for paper, to produce paper. Some people plant it for windbreakers, to protect their properties. People plant it to protect their land. People plant it for all types of things. I'm going to this video is about a timber and things like construction type of things, like producing ply for the market and things like that. But that's I'm going to be very much in that direction. Yes, in my explanation. So people ask me about the clearing costs. In my area, clearing an acre, you need at least it costs about 100,000 to clear one acre. of land. It costs about 1 acre. The bigger the land becomes, the cheaper per acre. You understand? Because we've cleared 100 acres at a cost of 30,000 shillings. 30,000 shillings for those who don't live in Uganda is a bit less than $10, 10 United States dollars. But the smaller the area, the more expensive the rate per acre. The bigger, the cheaper. You can clear 100 acres for 3 million, which is around 30,000 an acre. Usually, the bigger the bigger the area, the cheaper the rate per acre. Also, I tell people, I stay in Kampala. Kampala is based in Uganda, because this video will be seen by people who are not living in Uganda. I stay in Kampala, and there are places like Mbale. Mbale is a town which is like 4 hours drive away from Kampala. Now, if you are going to work in Mbale and you live in Kampala, the costs increase because of the transport costs go there. Yeah, the costs are different. So I'm talking of ideal situations where you probably stay on the land or very near, because you find the cost of transportation. Like I always tell people, if you are going to look after 1 acre in Bali, it costs the same fuel to go there as going to 100 acres in Bali. Yeah, I want this video, this first video, to be a few minutes long. Yeah. Now, the other costs, like transporting the seedlings from national forests, for example, in Kampala, to a place like Mityana, where I stay. A truck can take like 3,000 seedlings, and it costs, these days costs like 500,000. 500,000 is a bit less. It's a bit more than $150, United States dollars. That's for people who don't live in Uganda, but it costs around 500,000. Yeah, and when you're planting, you plant in rows, 3 meters by 3 meters, 3 meters by 3 meters, and you end up with around 450 trees in 1 acre. Yeah, each acre you end up with 150 trees, and that currently today on is it May 30th, 2022, a pine seedling at National Forest costs 500 Uganda shillings. 500 Uganda shillings. I always keep on changing into US dollars. 500 is less than a quarter a dollar. Yeah, it's around 10 US cents. A bit more than 10 US cents, maybe 17 US cents a seedling. Yes, and it costs, yeah. So 1 acre will take about 450 seedlings. So depending on how many acres you can calculate. So planting 1 acre, because if you it will take 450 seedlings, each one costing around 500 shillings. That's 200,000. Transport costs around 300,000, and clearing 1 acre costs around 100,000. So the total we have is around is it 700,000? Around $200 per acre. Is it 700? 400 plus 300, that's 700, 800. $800 is around a bit more than $200. It costs around $250 to plant 1 acre of land. I mean, an acre in my area. If you wanted to plant in Mityana, it costs around 800,000. Yeah, that includes cost, planting, and clearing. It costs around 800,000 per acre. Yes, but the larger area, because we've discovered planting 100 acres doesn't cost 80 million, which is 100 times 800,000. Planting 100 acres is a bit cheaper per acre. You might find it's around 50 million. But all these are dependent on so many situations. So I'm just giving you ideal situations. It depends on so many situations. Yeah, it depends on so many situations, because the area we are clearing can be rather a tough place, not with a lot of bush and things like that, and might cost a bit more to clear. So we are talking of ideal situations. Maybe you should plan around 1 million per acre to plant. For those for a small acreage like 5 acres, 3 acres, you plan around 1 million per acre. But for large acres, large number of acres like 100 acres, it costs a bit less per acre. You might find 100 acres might cost between 40 and 60 million. Also, that also depends on the distance away from Kampala. Yes. Uh, yeah, and like I said, before you plant, we need to find out which variety is suitable for your area where you're going to plant, because every area in Kampala has suitable trees. There are so many varieties, and we always get advice from National Forests on which tree we plant in that area. So that's the first video about land planting and preparation. I hope I've answered some of the questions people ask me, because there are so many questions they ask me, and they are very hard to fit in a 12-minute video on YouTube. But feel free to always contact me. Yeah, I hear there's a description and what in these videos, and you'll find my telephone number 0772 That's a Ugandan mobile phone number. It's on WhatsApp. You can contact me. I'll also put my email address. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. That's the first video, and we'll produce a second one.